my page. I don't know why. I know what I'm doing. Oh my word. Oh, so, hey Cindy, how are you doing? Let's see. So I know there I am there. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay. Heidi, who is our hostess with the mostest today, she says I'm in, so we are good to go. You guys, do you like to do things that are French inspired? I'm not really sure that I have done much of anything that is French inspired, but it sounds fun, doesn't it? What do you think of when you think of French inspired? Tell me what are some things that you think of. If you were going to make a project and you had to do something that was French inspired, what would be something that you think you would do? I'm just curious. Just because, you know, some of us are curious, right? Ooh la la. Oh, yes. Look at this. Yes, don't you think that all of this this needlework with this smocking looks like a little bit more fancy, right? That's why I went ahead and I put that on. You just never know. I think, you know, sometimes you pull out things and you think, well, that does kind of look a little bit more, you know, maybe like it is something like more French inspired, right? I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, I want to know. Okay, Susan says, well, she loves everything French, shabby chic colors and the feel. Yeah, for sure. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that, what do you think about when you think of that? I know where I'm going with this. We are going to make a fun little ribbon holder, ribbon keeper from envelopes. So I guess we better get going here, right? If I don't get going, we're not going to have enough time to do it. So let me put you down here to the workspace and we will get with it. We'll get with the program. So let me show you what I got today. These are some of the papers that I thought. I love this. This is like some papers we're going to use. These are the envelopes I'm doing. They're a little bit off-white. Hey, you guys. Thanks for popping in. Pinks, grays, ribbons. Yes, I agree. These are some envelopes that I've got. I am still working on a whole bunch of envelopes that my daughter ended up with extras from Christmas cards that she had bought for business. And somehow I have no idea how we ended up with so many envelopes, and they're foil lined. You can't beat that, right? Foil lined and free. How about that? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these envelopes together, and then we will move forward with our project. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these together like this. So I'm going to take this one, and where this little doodad is here, where it bends, that's where we're going to attach it. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put some glue all on this part. You guys, and I'm starting to panic, hoping I've got enough time. You know, I really thought about perhaps getting some of this started beforehand, and I thought, well, no, because then I thought I would have way too much time. Hi, Karen, how are you? Hi, Jeanette. You know, you just never know, right? You just can't guess. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. Same thing. So it's easy if you do the flap, because you know where the flap is, right? You don't know on the back of the envelope where it's going to, you know, hit. And you could, if you wanted to, you know, you could moisten that and use that part of the adhesive, but I don't really think that it matters. We're still going to get it glued down. So now we just take this one, and this one goes right here, right along. You're just going to press that on there. But I would, oh, I am making marks with my ring. Well, isn't that something? Good thing, but I'm going to cover it. Never fear. Okay, now this paper, you guys, I thought, oh, this is going to be so pretty because look at this text. I have no idea. You really can't even see anything. I'm claiming it's French. So, you know, I don't know. I don't really think that it's words at all. But to me, it looks at. Okay, so these two colors look really pretty together. And I thought, oh, I got so many things to mix and match that came from the same paper pad. But you guys, look at this. I don't like these together. I do not like the way that these go. There's such a small amount of this more peachy pink color. I mean, there are in these flowers, but it's like one flower in all of these. And so to me, I mean, you have to have more than that to make it work. And I just, well, it looks better here than it does in person. Trust me, it doesn't look that great in person. But I did find this piece, and then I thought, well, what about if I just use less of it? But I don't, because look here, now you've got all this gold, and then this is like gray text on here, so I don't really like that. So I had to kind of decide what I'm going to do. And a lot of times you want to use as little paper. I don't know why I say that. I got so much paper, I couldn't use it probably for the rest of my life. I'd never use it all up. But there's something about, well, you don't want to use this, you don't want to use that one, right? Oh my goodness. Why? Why do we do that? Sun in the Mountains. What a fun name. Howdy. What is your name? Hey, Linda, how are you? Okay, so this is what I decided. And here's another thing. If I use some of it, okay, you can get 4 5x7 pieces by rotating how you cut your paper. But for this kind of thing, some of it would be going this way, because one will go this way, this way, this way, and then this way. So you're going to have 2 that we'd have our writing going up and down. And I don't really want that. I want my writing to be just like it looks like it's written. So this is what I'm going to do. This pink looks okay. And, I think I could manage to stand that. This is another piece. I've got plenty that I can use this for. And if I have one that needs to go the other direction, I'm going to fill in with this one. And I'm going to skip using these. Even though I love them, I'll use them for something else. But look how pretty that is with gold. But, we got some gold flecks all in here, so it's all going to be good. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cover the little flap. So we're going to take the little flap, and all you need to do, you guys, when you're making it from scratch, so the top flap is going to go over the thing. So you want to see how big that is. That's 2.5. And this piece of paper we're going to wrap around. And so 5. And because it's going to bend over the edge, you can have a little bit of white up at the top, because once it bends, it's going to have a little space that's not covered. If we make it a touch over 5 inches, I think we'll probably be happier. So I need this to be 5 inches this way, and we need it to be, or let's see, 5 inches this way and 7 this way. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. It needs to be 7, I wrote it down. It looks like about 7 1/8. Let's try that. So 7 and just a smidge. So, and my friend Susan from So Inspired Designs, I want you to know that I ran my paper here, I ran it over some aluminum foil before I started tonight to see how that would work. Okay, I'm going to go 5, and I'm just going to go, oh man, not even 2/16, okay? And, well, that's a problem, because then I can't really score it at 2.5. So let's go 2, well, let's just do that little smidge over 2.5. And then this is from Stampin' Up, and it's got both blades in it. One for scoring, one for cutting. So, and if you're interested in any of those kinds of products, you can check out my link tree. Now, I wanted to add a little bit of ink, and I got some, I'm like everybody else. I kind of like thinking about these soft pinks and grays and all these good things. Now, what I want to do, because, let's see, let me think about this for a second. Oh man, I almost got this too tight. we're just going to make it an accordion fold like this. So this is going to be my front. And so which way do I want? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the flower. Well, shoot, those words are upside down anyway. Oh my goodness. Well, if we put it like this and then we put this other paper on under here like that, I don't like it. Oh my word. Shall we just put it on upside down anyway? I don't know. That's irritating. It doesn't go like that. It goes this way, you guys. What am I thinking? Okay. It goes this way. And then it's right side up. I knew I had looked at that and thought it would be right side up. Except it's not quite long enough. Well, you know what? It's going to be long enough. I'm going to make, it's just going to be long enough. Oh my goodness. You don't have one with a score. You know, it's really handy. Okay, so I've got this little bit of gray and I'm just going to go around it. Just hit the edge a tiny bit with it. And if you don't have any of these brushes, you don't even have to have fancy tools to ink things. I'll tell you what I used to do all the time. And I used to never, I had terrible luck with using any kinds of applicators until I got those brushes. You can just go like this. And get that ink on those edges. And that's a pretty handy way to do it. Actually, that's a lot faster, isn't it? I'll probably just keep doing that while we're doing this tonight. So now we've got that gray on there. I'm going to put this on. We're just going to glue it on. What did I say? This one goes this way. Whew. I can hardly keep up with myself. Just ink it. It'll work. I think so. Yeah. You know what? And I'm going to ink that outside edge. That's another thing. If you got something showing, but showing through and that wasn't the plan, just, you know, hit it with a little ink and it will really make a big difference. And sometimes some of you have to remind me of that with some of the things I'll do. I'm like, oh no. And somebody go, just ink it. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Just ink it. Oh my goodness, you guys. I need to, oh, shoot. It is like, let me pull out one of my pens here. Hey, Jeannie, how are you? Hi, Linda. There we go. I'm going to have to put some more on where I already did it. It put on such a little. I hate putting it on, and then by the time I got around, it was like almost dried up. That seems silly. And man, you have got to keep track of those. Oh, you guys, you know what? Oh, watch this. When I get this on here, oh, this is going to be fabulous. I just realized something. When I get this on, well, let me try and center it so if I ink it on both sides, it'll be kind of even. Well, shoot. I don't know, you guys. I should have made that a tiny bit longer. But we'll get the drift. It'll still work for what I'm going to do with it. So I'm not going to worry about it. Look at this. I just figured this out when I stuck this on here. There it is. The words are right side up. And then because we're flipping it, they're still right side up. Ha ha ha. Crisis avoided. Okay, now then. We need some little sections along here. I might just even use, I don't know. I think I'll put 2 of these. This section needs to be 7 inches wide. So I am just going to, you know, I think I'll cut this part first where it's already messed up at the bottom. Let's do that one. So I need 7 3/8. 7 3/8. You know, I'm just gonna do 7 1/4. Well, no, I did measure it. We'll see if I was right. We'll see if I don't even know. So 7 3/8 on that one, and it needs to be 3 3/8. Maybe that. Oh, is that even what that says? You guys, how many of you like make notes and then you can't even read your notes? I'm terrible about that. I know this one is 3 3/8. 3 3/8. Hopefully that's what it is. We'll see. We'll see if I could read a ruler today. No. Isn't that crazy? So let's go ahead and we'll just put this on here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, yeah. That works. Maybe. I don't know. Looks, I'm not sure why it wouldn't have been taller. It's okay. You know, maybe the other one I did, maybe I needed, maybe it was because of how much paper I had. Who knows? You never know, right? What am I making? Is that paper? Or it's paper. This was paper. You could certainly find printables that would be pretty for this because all the sizes are, none of them are real big. So, you know, printing out paper would be perfect. And we, oh man, I really, and that happens sometimes. Look what I did. I got a real big, that's very distressed. But, what was I going to say? Who knows? Oh my gosh, you guys, when I get in here and I start blabbing, you guys should talk amongst yourself and help me. Hi, Brenda, how are you? Oh, I loved what you were making, Brenda. Everybody's been making such gorgeous things. So pretty. Who knew we were so French inspired? Nobody would know I was. What was I saying about... Okay, I know. Diane asked me about the paper. What am I making? Oh, it's going to be a ribbon keeper. It's going to be a ribbon keeper. Oop, let's put it on the right direction, you guys. We got to get it on right. Okay, you guys, I think... Oh, what is with this tonight? It's a Friday the 13th thing. Oh, man, that's sticky. I just have to pray it doesn't just clog up completely. I got other glue here. We'll manage. We will manage. Oh, won't be my favorite. This is my favorite glue, you guys. It's called Reptile glue. Just like it sounds, Reptile. And I put it in these small little needle nose bottles. And it grabs pretty fast. But, you know, any liquid glue gives you a moment to kind of move it around. But you don't have to wait long. And you can use it on so many things. It just was meant to be... it was originally designed to be used for tile work. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, and I got that stuff going on up there. My ink wasn't dry. Ah. Yeah, I don't know. These pieces could have been bigger. That's okay. It's okay. Let me see what else. What else is everybody talking about? Yeah, yes, Friday the 13th. Oh my gosh. Years and years ago, my husband had car trouble on 2 different Friday the 13th. And I don't even know if they were like the same year or, you know, like in what time frame. But some terrible car problem on Friday the 13th. He used to drive around all the time for his work. And he was after he got out of the Navy, he had worked on the gun systems and the radar systems in the Navy. And when he got out of the Navy, he went to work for IBM. They hired him on. And so he went around town and fix stuff, you know, fix computers. Smaller, like small business size was the department that he worked in. You guys, I just keep smearing that. That's one thing about this. These distress oxides are part pigment and part dye base, and pigment ink takes longer to dry. That's why it's juicy and nice to use like for embossing powder and stuff, because it gives you that moment, you know, it's got that longer workable time, and you can put embossing powder on it and it will stay. So that's why it works great for that. But I don't even know what I was telling about him. Oh, on Friday the 13th, 2 different years in a row, he had some kind of a problem. And I told him, I go, oh my gosh, I said, we should just wrap you up in cotton. Just forget about it. Okay, let's put this one in the center part. So, you guys, I wonder if it's on my fingers too. Okay. So the front ones are actually, I don't know why they're bigger. Okay, maybe I've even got ink on that part already. What in the world? Okay, so the backs are going to be a regular 5x7. Let me show you how to cut more pieces out of a 5x7. Except I don't think that's going to... We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start at 7 inches and I'm going to cut down to 5 because we want a 5x7 piece. So 5 inches. And I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure at 7. I'm going to cut down to 5. Ooh, almost cut too far. Spin it again. You're just going to keep making that same measure. You could start at 5 and cut down to 7. It doesn't really matter. You're just doing the same one each time. And then down to 5. What have I done? You guys, what have I done? That's not right. Something's wrong here. What in the world? I don't know what has happened. 7 and 5x7. I don't have any idea. Somehow I've got that backwards. So this is 5. I got cut down to 7 down here. I don't know what I did. That's going to let this one loose. I don't know what I did. What in the world? I don't know. Like I said, it's Friday the 13th, and I have no idea why that's cut goofy. But you can see you can get 4 pieces out of there, which is fabulous. Because otherwise, this is the only way you can get that many 5x7s out of a piece of paper. That's just crazy. Now this piece. This is the 5 inches. Now, all you end up with is this little square. Look at this. That's all you end up with. That's it. So, let me see. I don't think this will fit in here. Well, it would, but it's gonna be different than the other pieces. Well. So there we go. Let's just go ahead and let's cover the backs real quick. So let's just get a little bit of ink on those. I like pink, and I think pink and gray is such a pretty combination. Brenda was, I know, I tell you what, we get to talking and, you know, some of the stuff we say, she was in, that this was on the, what'd you say, the gray side of pink or something. I'm just like, I'm using the gray side of pink too here. We're just going to edge the pink and gray. I gotta hurry up because I got another fun thing to show you guys. I said it's for a ribbon, and I made something fun to use for ribbon. Oh, I should have picked up that other paper so it doesn't get messed up. But look at this, and the reason I picked out this out of that paper pad too was look at these little swirly, you know, flourishes. You know, like a fleur-de-lis kind of thing. I always think flourishes like that kind of have that kind of an inspiration too. To me, anyway. I don't think, there's no right or wrong on these, so these really don't matter which way we glue them on. Luckily, thanks, Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, how are you doing today? Oh my goodness, there we got our friends in here speaking French. Oui, oui. My goodness, you guys, this bottle is gonna drive me cuckoo. I don't know what's going on. And I know there's plenty of glue in it. I just filled it up. Oh, there we go. I just filled it up the other day. When I originally, I'm still on the first bag of these tiny applicator bottles that I bought. When they came, there was like something like 10 or something. I got them on Amazon, and I'm still using them. Every once in a while, it will clog up to where it just, you can't really get it cleared out anymore. And then you have to, you know, just call it done and move on. I need something else for a piece of paper. What can I use? I'll just use the back of this. Which one? Oh, smart. I should have. Well, you know, even if it gets a little bit of gray on here, I'm okay with that. It's still pretty. I think it's still pretty. And we've got some fun stuff to do with ribbon still. Still another nod to, you know, French. So see, now we're covering up all these areas where the envelope flaps go together. Hopefully that's dry enough. Okay. Bonjour, Darla. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We had people that we worked with, and my oldest daughter and I, we just laugh about this all the time. So our owner's wife and his sister went on a trip to France and Italy. And so I'm pretty sure it was the sister. And she comes out of this little shop and she tells, and the other lady we worked with his wife too. So she tells her, those people just looked at me so strange when I said goodbye or whatever. And she says, what did you say? And she goes, I just said Bon Jovi. So she just starts dying laughing, going, well, that was why she was laughing. And she goes, what are you talking about? And she goes, it's not Bon Jovi. And she goes, it's Bonjour. Buongiorno or whatever. No, is that, I don't know. Anyway, she did say Bon Jovi, whatever it was. You know what, you guys? I'm just going to cut this piece. Even though the letters are going the other way, I'm just going to do it. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. So I'm just going to do it. I don't care. If I don't care, why should anybody else? Okay, but I got to check my front here. 3 3/8. Okie dokie. Phew. Okay. That seems small. Well, it's the same size. Okay, we're coming down here to the wire, you guys. Oops, gotta ink it. trying to remember to ink it. It's hard business. Now, when you ink this way, you can see that you get, you know, some different little patterns on the edges than, you know, a lot of times if you're just using a brush or, you know, the other inking tools. Like you'll get these little places like that. I don't care. I don't really mind. I'm going to set that aside. While we set that aside, I'm going to go ahead and do the thing that will be the closure. So I'm going to just punch a little oval. I'm just going to do it, I'm going to do it white. So I'm just going to put this in here. No, I don't like that. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. What would this look like on it? I don't know. I'm not going to know unless I do it. I think that'll be okay. I'm going to have to ink it. Then I'll be waiting for something else to dry with this ink. I tell you what though, I can't for the life of me hardly ink edges of stuff with just plain dye-based ink. I like it when it's a little juicier, like pigment ink. I don't know why. Okay, now let's just let that dry for a second. So what else can we do here? Okay, you guys, I told you that we're going to make this into a, well, this piece is probably dry now. Let's get it on. I love these. I couldn't believe how lucky I was to find something in my, you know, that I already had that had the little gold bits in it that would coordinate just right. But yeah, flowers and laces and all kinds of ribbons and stuff. I just think. So I want to know who here has maybe even been to Paris or to France, not Paris, not even, doesn't have to be Paris. Have any of you been? I want to know. Let us know if you've been. No, 3 5/8 would have been way off. That would have been too far off of the edge. And this, I don't know, I got that over a little bit. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and glue this little guy on here. And this is, I mean, you really don't need anything for a reinforcement because you've already got a double piece of paper and the envelope flap right there. So, I mean, you're just doing this as kind of a decorative element. So just kind of eyeball it for the middle. So let's let that dry because we're going to want to punch a hole in it. Okay, now, how is this going to become a ribbon keeper? I'll show you. I'll show you what I did. Oh, Jeannie said she's been several times. Hey, Pam, that's okay. We're glad to have you. Doesn't matter what time you pop in. And you guys stay. Heidi's going to bring our event on home tonight. She is going to be... Heidi's page is Joyful Artistry by Heidi. She has been our hostess today. Get that off. I just dropped my ribbon here. Okay. My lace. Hit some lace. Well, I said ribbon, but actually I was kind of thinking of laces too. I made these cute little things like this. And I've got more of them. I just printed this on cardstock. And I thought I'm just going to, you know, wrap these around. And I just thought it would be kind of a cute little thing to wrap some ribbons around. and then tuck in these pockets of these envelopes. So, I mean, you can't put tons on here, but you know, a lot of times, how many of you have small bits of ribbons? I'm sure that we all have little bits of ribbons. You know, you get down to smaller amounts, and it's like, what am I going to do with that? And we've talked before about putting them on, you know, flat cards anyway. And when you get around here like this, you might want to take a pin and just stick it in here. Now, if you're using a pin, make sure that you poke it through there and back into your, you know, your thing, so you don't have it sticking out. And then we'll be able to just slide these in to our little pockets like this. So that's why I said you don't need them to be super, super, you know, heavy duty, right? So there, we've got that one. Here's one that's a little bit wider of a lace. Let's see how that will work. I mean, you know, granted, you're not going to be able to put on super, super giant wide pieces. But, you know, I just thought it was kind of cute. And you could probably, you know, make a little form that was probably bigger. Like, this is going to be big enough on here that nobody even knows that that was like a little dressmaker form, right? So, you know, just cute though, just something cute. And you could put, you know, several things in here like this. And, you know, maybe you've got some special little trims that are a little bit more fancy or whatever, and you just put some in there, and then you know this is your go-to for something like that. Okay, so now we're gonna poke another hole in here, and hopefully, oh man, that barely will go. I should have paid attention to where I put that. That's not even gonna be halfway. Well, that's not too bad. And then I've got a pretty like seam binding thing here. Like this, and this is kind of a fun way you can, and I think this is an interesting closure too. You can just put this in. Let's see. Well, it's interesting if you can remember what you did. Well, it has to go this way. I think we do it like this. Yes. So you just pull it down like this. Hang on just a second. Is that right? No, that's not right. We have another thing we have to do. You know what? Let me grab my crocodile. We got another hole to put in, and it doesn't matter if it's that. Where is my crocodile? Oh no. Okay, that was not what I thought it was. Okay, well, let's do this one. Gosh, I don't know if I can cut it with this. We need to make another little bit just right here. So you're going to cut it right. Can you see what I'm doing? It's just right here above your other hole. Just do this like right in the middle. I'm like thinking that is not an interesting closure. Oh my goodness. No, Susan, that's what you were saying. Oh man. Okay, so this is how you make your closure. Now we're going to thread it back through here. and just get it straightened out. Okay. Now, see, it comes out the top and around this way, and now it will close and tie really nicely. And you know, this is a little more bulky than other ones that I've done because we've put those little dress forms with the lace on them. So you just, you know, tie it up like this. But you guys, if you take anything else away from this, simply the way to use the envelopes together and then this cool closure technique. Oh my goodness. Friday the 13th strikes again. What in the world? I can't even tie a bow today. I don't know. And I never, you know, I've seen people that do that, make 2 loops with a bow and do that. But look at that. You know, ooh la la. So that's kind of fun, right? Now, let me see if that's, and I don't even think, okay, hang on. That's not even the way I wanted it. It goes like, it closes like this. Okay, so you've got it, this is the way it needs to close. This is easier. Like this. Phew. And then you can just pull it. It'll lay down nicer if you do it like that. So, I mean, it's got some bulk in here because of that. And you could just use a simple round hole punch on here. You don't have to use something fancy. Thank you. I don't even know how to say thank you in French, do I? What is thank you? Maybe if I saw it, maybe I would know how to read it. There's a few things, you know, we see a few things enough that you can recognize it, right? I don't know what that is. What do you think, you guys? Thank you all for being here. And it's going to be just a couple minutes here, and then it's going to be Heidi's turn. I can hardly wait to see. What a fun event, right? I love some of our themes that we have. You know, it's just fun to have different themes. And, you know, really, so many of the things that we do, merci, that's right. Thank you, Susan. You know, so many of the things we do, it's still kind of crafter's choice because however the person is used to, you know, whatever their crafting style is, and then they just kind of take that with the theme that we have and go with it, right? So, I mean, we usually don't tell people you have to use this kind of product or, you know, this or whatever, right? And so I just think that it is just so much fun to do that, you guys. I still love that other paper. I might just do something. I have to use that other paper with all the gold and the gold script, but I was so sad how it just didn't really go that well. Now, this one, this is funny because with this piece, look how much of that peachy color is on here, and that would have kind of looked good with that. That wouldn't have looked that bad. I mean, it doesn't look that great with a whole sheet of it, but oh my goodness. Thanks, Yolanda. Oh, it is a great project. It is. I don't know how many times I show this periodically because it truly is like one of my favorite projects for some reason. I don't know. You can just make it fit, you know, whatever occasion. Look, I can see. I should ink this little baby up over here and kind of make that blend to the back. Let's send it to the background, right? I don't know. We'll get it. We'll get it squared away. And like I said, nobody's gonna care. We're the only people half the time that care about these things. But I mean, yeah, if I was gonna give it to somebody, I would make sure that it was squared away right. Here's a different one, you guys. And I usually have one of these in my stash so that I can remember how to do it. This one was like a little bee theme. And oh, and here's something else. This is another thing you can do with it. Like you could use it for kind of a little memory keeping thing, right? And I just made cards that would fit in the envelopes, and you know, put a little, this is like a little flower punch thing, and I just cut them in half, and then you can just use that as kind of your little pull tab. And now you can't get it back in. What in the world? Ah, ta-da, I got it. But look, these are some more of that same envelope I've got. I got all kinds of these envelopes, right? Laugh, love, craft. It is so fun. Such a fun event. I'm so glad Heidi thought that up. We have lots of fun ones, though. I mean, we just have all kinds of fun events. I hope you guys, oh, and I forgot, we like you to watch in the Crafty Bunch, because it kind of helps us, you know, the book will push it out more if we are in, you know, if more people are watching. So if you're watching in the Crafty Bunch, and we hope you are, go ahead, and all you have to do is refresh your browser, and then Heidi is going to be up, okay? And it's time. So if she's not up right away, just hang on a minute. We've been struggling with getting people into the group. But thanks, Heidi. Thanks for all the rest of you that have been in the event, and thanks for all of you watching too. We wouldn't be doing it if you know, unless people liked watching the projects, right? Thanks, and have a great weekend, you guys. Bye-bye.